Hi, it's Lesley Fightmaster, and today is our 22nd day. So we're to the 4th week, and this week will be more of a recovery week. So we will have strength, of course, in our practice, but it'll be a little more focused. Most of the practice is focused on stretching. So today's class will be kind of a slow flow. So bring your hands together in front of your heart, sitting up tall. Close your eyes, set an intention for your practice. And then we'll begin just rolling forward. And then on the knees, you're going to tuck the toes under and sit back on your heels. Inhale, the arms reach up. If this gets to be too intense, then just come off with the heels anytime. So your right arm over the left arm. And you can come off the heels when you like. Right arm on top of left for Garudasana arms. Lift the shoulders a little bit. And then draw the shoulder blades down away from the ears. And the elbows can lift up slightly. And release, reach up, come off your heels. And then sit back down. Bring your arms to a T again. Left arm over right. So you can also put backs of the hands together, or you can touch your shoulders with your hands if the palms don't touch, or you can touch the palms, whatever works. And lift the elbows, draw the shoulder blades down a little bit. And the upper back will round just slightly here. And again, if that's getting too much on your toes, then you just lift off. So let's come on off and untuck the toes and then onto the tops of the feet with your fingertips next to you. Lean back, lift your knees up off the floor. So now you're stretching the tops of the feet. And it might be a little intense. So if it is, just come back down and take a little break. So knees down, come off of the feet. And then sit back down one more time. We'll lift the legs up, maybe even find a little balance by reaching the arms up. And it's not so easy, so if you fall, no worries. Releasing that. And right onto table, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. And inhale, bring your chest forward, lift your chin, lift your tailbone. As you exhale, round your back, drop your chin towards your chest. And again, inhale to come forward, broadening across your collarbones. Exhale, round your back, pull your belly in, draw your rib cage in. Inhale, heart comes forward through the gates of your arms. Exhale, press away from the floor and round the back. Inhale. And little arch in the upper back. Keep your belly lifted gently. And exhale, tuck the tailbone, rounding the back, chin toward chest. And then we'll extend back into child's pose with the arms in front, stretching out your spine. And your arms are about shoulders distance apart, and getting nice and long through the spine here. And start to turn your inner upper arms, your biceps, up toward the ceiling. And then on your hands and knees again, we'll inhale, bring the chest forward again, and exhale, round. So this time, we'll take it back to child's pose. So when you come up, your hands will still be in front of the shoulders. So again, inhale, chest forward, lift the chin, lift the tailbone up, and exhale, begin to round the back, and then take the hips all the way to the heels. And inhale. Coming through, a little arching in the back, and exhale, rounding the back, hips back to the heels. And again, moving with the breath. Inhale, all the way forward, lift your chin and tailbone. Exhale, make your way back to child's pose. And And again, still with the hands in front of the shoulders. We're going to come right up onto the knees now for gate pose. Left leg is out, the side of the foot is down flat. Bring your left hand down toward the foot, any amount. Reach your right arm up and over, and you're stretching through the side body. Your right knee is down with the heel right behind your knee. And draw your belly in. And then come back to center and sit down all the way with your knee still behind you. So taking the left hand behind you, just going to lift up and stretch through the side of the body and then set back down. Bring your right hand down and stretch to the other side. Bring your hips back down. Left hand comes down. Reach the right arm up and over, stretching. And then set back down. Right hand down, stretch through the left side of the body. I had so much fun doing this. I wanted to do it all day long. So now we'll come back to the knees and extend the right leg out to the side. And then reaching up and stretching over. Your left arm's in line with your left ear. Your right hand is down by the shin. And stretching through the side body here. Nice long breath. Inhale to come up, and then we'll sit back down. So my heel is right next to my hip, and if yours doesn't do that, don't go all the way down. So reaching up, the right hand is down, stretch through the left arm, and sit back down. Left hand comes to the floor, sweep the right arm around, stretching back, and sitting back down. Left hand comes down. Right hand comes down, reach the left arm over. And sitting down, left hand down, sweep the right arm up and around, stretching, and then set down. And just make our way back into child's pose with the arms extended in front. Coming back to steady Ujjayi breathing, in and out through the nose, little constriction in the back of the throat. Come up onto your knees and tuck your toes and stretch into down dog. And begin to bend one knee and the other, bicycling the legs. Be sure that the arms are shoulder distance apart and your feet are hips width. And keep your arms and ears in the same line. Then come way up onto the toes, bend the knees, keep the hips high, reach your heels toward the floor. And stretch your chest toward the thighs. Keep the belly lifted and the rib cage drawing in and up. And breathing. And we're just going to hold this down dog for a few more breaths. So press the inner thighs back. And then inhale, right leg floats back and up. As you exhale, step it forward. Next to the right hand, take the left knee down. Pat up your left knee if you need any padding. Inhale to come up. Exhale, sink your hips forward and keep your right knee in line with your ankle. Now we're going to lean over to the right side. So I've got my right hand on the floor, or you can hold on to the left wrist and just stretch through the side body. And inhale the arms up, pulling the right arm with the left hand and stick with that, or left hand down to the floor, or a block if you have a block handy. Reach your right arm over. And then back through center. Bring the hands down and inhale, straighten the front leg, and exhale, folding forward over the leg for half Hanumanasana, half splits. And then pulling the right hip back as you come forward. And then re-bend to the front knee. Bring your hands on the inside of your right foot and lengthen as you inhale. Either stay there or exhale to the forearms for lizard pose. It's a nice hip stretch. Or if you have a block handy, you can always put your forearms on a block. Another variation. And then making your way back up, we're going to roll to the pinky toe side of the back foot. Angle your right foot out to the right and lift that top arm either straight up or take it behind your back. So it's a twisted lizard. You'll feel this a little bit in your hip on the right side. And then unwind that, tuck your back toes under and straighten the front leg and fold over it again. And then bend the front knee and sink the hips. And inhale, straighten the front leg and fold over that leg. Exhale and sink forward. Still the knee is over the ankle. And then inhale, folding over the leg, pull the right hip back. Exhale, sinking forward, stretching the hip. Inhale, straighten the leg. And exhale, sinking in. Then tuck the back toes, and knees can be up or down, is up to you. Shift forward about an inch, lower to the belly as you exhale. And then inhale, peel the chest up, press through all the tops of the toes, all the toenails pressing down. Draw the shoulder blades slightly toward the waist, and then come up onto the forearms. If that's too much, then stay down in low cobra. But on the forearms, lightly press your pubic bone down and then move your head a little side to side. So right ear toward right shoulder, then left ear toward left shoulder. And just go back and forth a couple of times to stretch the neck. And then we'll press up to plank. Knees can stay down if you like. Down dog. Inhale, the right leg floats up, and exhale, step it through. The right ankle is just lined up with the knee as you sink your hips forward, pulling your right hip back as you do, and then catch a hold of your right wrist and lean your whole torso toward the left. Stay with that, or left fingertips to the floor as you continue to lean over toward that left side. And back up, inhale, and catching your left wrist, pull it off to the right side, or take the right fingertips down. And then back to center. And straighten the front leg. Exhale, fold over your straight front leg. Pulling the left hip back as you do, send the right hip forward. And just try and lengthen the spine here. And then bend your front knee. And bring your hands on the inside of the left foot. Lengthen the spine as you inhale. Either stay up or come to your forearms. Or if you have a block, forearms on a block is another nice variation. Continuing your nice steady breathing. And if your knee goes out to the side, make sure your toes do too. And then turn your left foot out to the side. Come onto the pinky toe side of your right foot, lifting up and taking that left hand behind your back, or you can just keep it reaching up toward the sky. It's a nice twist and a little hip opening. And then back to center. And straighten the front leg. Exhale over your leg. And then sinking the hips forward as you inhale. Pull the left hip back as you do. And exhale, keep the left hip pulling back, straighten the leg. Come on to the heel. Inhale, sinking forward, maybe a little bit deeper as you move back and forth. Exhale to straighten the leg. Pick up your ball of the foot. Fold forward. And then rebend the left knee, sinking your hips forward. And exhale, folding over the leg. Inhale, sinking forward again. And then tuck your back toes under. Keep the hips low as you step to plank. Knees can be up or down. And holding plank, shift forward slowly, slowly to your belly as you exhale. And then inhale, low or high cobra. And then lowering down. Or actually, we'll stay up a little longer and then we'll lower down. And again, pressing up, cobra pose. So this is a high cobra. You can stay down low if that's better on your back. But keep reaching the tailbone toward the heels. Make sure you're pressing all your toes down so your inner thighs can spin up toward the ceiling. Lower down, tuck the toes up to plank. You can keep the knees down if you like and lift the hips to down dog. And stretch, look forward, bend the knees, either step or hop your feet. On your inhale, get long, lengthen the spine. As you exhale, reach the crown of your head down toward the floor. And inhale, come halfway up, lengthen the spine, hands to shins. And then exhale again to fold in, reach the crown of your head down. And then pressing through the feet, rise up as you inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Coming to Samastitihi Tadasana at the front of your mat. Inhale, circle the arms up, look up as long as it's okay on your neck. Exhale and fold in, hips over the heels, crown of the head down. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway up. Exhale, step back to plank. And slowly lower chaturanga, shoulders no lower than elbows. Inhale into upward facing dog or stay with cobra. Up dog, thighs and knees are off the floor. Exhale, lift your hips to downward facing dog. And just breathing here. Just a sun salutation to get things moving a little bit more. Create a little bit of heat in the body. I'm hoping that you're not hearing my stomach make noises. Look up, either step or float your feet. Inhale to lengthen the spine and exhale to fold. Inhale, pressing down, reach all the way up, look up and exhale, Samastitihi. Again, inhale, reaching up and exhale, folding in, nice long spine as you come down. Inhale, come halfway up, lengthen out your spine here, fingertips down or hands to shins. Exhale, plank pose, shift forward about an inch, chaturanga. Hug your elbows in. Inhale, press through your hands and feet, lift the legs off the floor if you're an up dog. Exhale, lift your hips and stretch all the way back into downward facing dog. So yes, my stomach has been gurgling during this class, and it's because I started a cleanse today. So I'm drinking some juice, and it's mixed with some fiber and some bentonite clay. Doesn't that sound wonderful? And it's cleaning out my intestines, so they make a little noise. Anyway, hopefully they'll behave. Another breath and down dog as you reach the heels toward the floor, and then look forward, either step or hop the feet. Inhale, lengthen up halfway. Exhale and folding forward. And then inhale, pressing down, reach all the way up and look up. And exhale, hands to heart. And again, inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, fold forward, hinging from your hips. Inhale, come halfway up, lengthen. And exhale, step back to plank. Or if you hop back, you can hop back and land in chaturanga, lower from plank. Hovering a moment, and then inhale, come forward into up dog, stretch out the whole front of your body. And then exhale to lift the hips into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Arms and ears in line. Inhale, float your right leg back and up. Exhale, lightly step it up by the right hand, spin the back heel flat, line up your front heel with your back arch and come into Warrior Two. Your front heel's in line with your back arch as I mentioned, and then you want the right knee over the ankle, and your knee is right in line with your middle toes. Sink in, and then drop the left arm to reverse your warrior. As you exhale, bend into the front knee just a little bit more. Nice side stretch. And then come back up on the inhale and exhale. Just cartwheel your arms down and move through your vinyasa. Slowly through chaturanga. Slowly up dog or cobra. And mindful transition into downward facing dog. Float the left leg back and up on the inhale. Exhale, step it between the hands, spin the back heel flat, and come on up into Warrior Two. Line up again, front heel with back arch, and gaze over the fingertips. Try and drop your front hip underneath you, so you drop the left hip down and kind of scoop it under you. Press your back thigh back. And then dropping your right arm reverse, nice side stretch. Keep bending the front knee. Sometimes it forgets to keep bending. And then inhale to come up and exhale. Windmill the arms down. Step back, plank pose, slow chaturanga. You can always take your knees down. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. Breathing here. Just keeping a nice, slow, steady practice today. And it's not that it's so easy, but it is kind of a little bit gentler than last week's practices. Some may find this to be more challenging. Slowing down is sometimes hard for some of us. Look up, step or hop your feet. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And exhale, folding forward, reach the crown of your head down, hips over the heels. And inhale, bend your knees, chair pose, reach up. Sink the hips back, weight is in the heels. Lift your hip points up towards your lower ribs as you stretch through your spine, looking toward the fingertips unless it bothers your neck. Keep pressing the shins back as you continue to sink weight toward the heels. Just a couple breaths here. Reaching forward and then down into Uttanasana variation. Hold on to your opposite elbows here. It's called ragdoll pose, or that's what I've heard it called. And then just gently rock yourself here from side to side. And then let your arms hang down, lightly nod the head yes, and shake your head no. And then halfway up, hands to hips, come all the way back to standing. Turn to face the long side of your mat. Step your feet out nice and wide with your feet parallel. Inhale, hands to hips and look up, and exhale, hinging forward with the fingertips down. Then lengthen your spine once more as you inhale. And then as you exhale, folding forward any amount. So your toes will point in just a little tiny bit toward each other. As the crown of the head reaches down, if your elbows are bending, line up your wrists right underneath the elbows and squeeze your outer hips and your inner thighs toward each other as you pull up on your kneecaps and firm your quadricep muscles all the way up to the hips. I like to imagine here I'm holding a giant beach ball between my inner thighs and I'm squeezing it because I don't want it to roll away. Inhale, halfway up, and hop the feet together, and sit down, or keep the legs wide and slide out towards Sommo Konasana, which is the middle split. And if that's a bit much, just sit your hips down and take your legs a little closer, or maybe a lot closer. So if you're sliding out, of course, be very, very careful, very mindful. Keep your toes and knees pointed up to the ceiling, and then we'll sit down. Hands behind you. Inhale. And sit up tall, and then take your right hand to the inside of the right ankle. Lift the left arm up and maybe swing it over toward the foot. So ideally, we want a nice stretch through the left side of the body. So if your torso leans forward, then it's better to just keep the left arm straight up. Inhale to come up. And then left hand to the inside of the right leg, right arm straight up. Or stretch it over toward the foot. Stretching through the right side. And getting nice and long through the torso. Keeping the knees and toes pointed up toward the ceiling. Keep the legs firmed here as well. And then back to center. As you exhale, start to fold yourself forward any amount. Doesn't matter how deep you get into your pose, just that you feel a stretch. Make sure you keep those knees and toes pointed up toward the ceiling and firm the leg muscles by pulling up on your kneecaps. On up on your inhale, and then just turn to face the front of the mat. Hold on to your shins and begin to slowly lower all the way halfway down, and then all the way down. And feet hips width apart. Inhale, press into bridge pose. So lift the hips, low back, mid back, maybe the upper back. Keep your tailbone reaching toward the backs of your knees and your chin away from your chest. Breathe into the chest. And you can interlace fingers or you can keep your hands right by your sides. And then slowly begin to lower down. And just let your knees knock in toward each other. And then coming up again, press into the heels, lift into bridge. Try to keep the front of your body nice and long. And then slowly begin to lower down. Let the knees just drop in toward each other. So you can do another bridge or setting up for wheel pose. If you're going to wheel, pause at the crown of the head. Line up your wrists right under your elbows. Make sure your feet stay parallel as you press up. Arms and ears in line. And then think about stretching out the whole front of your body. So don't worry about walking the hands and the feet toward each other. That's not so important. What really is good is to stretch out the spine in this way. And then chin to chest to come down and hug your knees in. Gently rocking side to side. Begin to roll yourself back and forth, back and forth. Come on up to seated and pull your toes back. And then inhale, reach your arms up, and exhale, hinge from the hips forward. Then lengthen once more on your inhale. Keeping that length, either stay there or extend forward. So that as you inhale, maybe lengthen a little bit more. Either stay or exhale and reach forward. And again, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, extend forward. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, get some length. Exhale, surrender. And then coming on up, roll yourself back, hug your knees in. And then just let your knees drop off to the left and look over your right shoulder. Just a gentle twist. And then back to center. And then drop your knees over to the right side, looking left. And then back to center, draw the knees in, lengthen through the lower back, and then make your way into Shavasana. So resting here. Take a few moments to get nice and comfortable. And then once you feel comfortable, allow yourself to just relax and take it easy. Let your body just sink right down, holding on to nothing. Keep your breath just natural breathing. Relax. Our quote today comes from Mary Oliver. It's a lovely poet and author. She says, "Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life?" Take a long breath. Start to stretch out your arms and your legs and your hands and your feet. Roll off to your right side, pausing there. Come back and honor the intention you set. And slowly start to make your way back up into a seated position with your hands together in front of the heart. And we'll bring our hands to the forehead to remind us to have clear and loving thoughts. Our hands to the heart to remind us to have clear and loving intentions. And our hands to the mouth to remind us to have clear and loving communications. Sending all this wonderful energy we created to all beings everywhere. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. Tomorrow's class is going to be focused on the core, so it won't be quite as gentle, I'm afraid. But if you liked this practice, please push the like button and comment, and please subscribe, and please share these videos so that we can get free yoga to as many people as possible. And if you can afford to make a donation of any amount, there is a link below. And the donations are so helpful for us to continue spreading yoga to as many people as we possibly can. I get messages from all over the world about how people are loving just practicing yoga. So have a great day. Thank you.